The leader of the opposition is under the previous Conservative government, everything was perfect. And what he is proposing to do is to make Canada great again. That is not what Canadians want.
What?
Not what Canadians want.
Not what Canadians want.
Like, is this real life? Like, this is just, you know...
Just incredible!
Going to challenge Trudeau to a cage match?
Oh, yeah. No, he actually boxed once. The most pathetic thing on the planet.
Did he do it in blackface, or was it...
God, man, this country, dude. You know, it's funny. It's so weird because I know a lot of Canadians, and they're all cool.
They're so cool.
They love guns. They like outdoor you know?
Every Canadian I know loves guns.
But like for some reason, you come here, and it's just run by this coward of a man.
Yeah.
Like, they take seized bank accounts, like
the whole truckers, and that upset me.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, literally seized bank accounts. Like,
make Canada great again. That is not what Canadians want.
Trudeau, we don't want to go back to when, you know, crime was much lower than it is now, and homelessness and poverty was much lower than it is now, and the federal government respected our firearm rights and private property rights. No, we don't want to go back to... Why would we want to go back to those days when inflation was way, way lower than it is today, when we didn't have a government passing laws and legislation based on ideologies, climate change.
How dare you?
Someone else whose woke leftist policies will hopefully see him consigned to the dustbin of history is, of course, the appalling Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Cuba. Sorry, my mistake. Touch of the Joe Bidens there. I mean, Prime Minister of Canada. Although it's an easy mistake to make, after all, young Justin and his brother Michael were warmly welcomed to Cuba by the dictator Fidel Castro. Seen here, Fidel holding Michael Trudeau alongside Mum, the charming Margaret Trudeau. Shocking, of course, have been the scurrilous and wholly unfounded suggestions that Margaret Trudeau may well have been as fond of a fiddle as she was of a rolling stone. Over the years, there have been scandalous and utterly unpersuasive rumours to suggest that there is some kind of physical resemblance between the uber left-wing and authoritarian Cuban dictator, seen here on the right, on the left, and the uber left-wing and authoritarian Canadian Prime Minister, seen here on the left. The right.
Now let's start the segment with the king of performative caring, the Canadian himbo himself, Justin Trudeau.
What he is proposing to do is to make Canada great again. That is not what Canadians want. He is pining for a nostalgia that, quite frankly, Canadians do not feel.
Yes, why would Canadians want Canada to be great again? What a shocking concept that would be.
Because the Conservative Party under Pierre Poilievre has made it very, very clear that they want to take Canada backwards.
Yes, take us back to when gas was $1 a liter, to when you didn't have to sell a kidney to afford groceries or heat your home. Take us back to when we could share news links on social media, to when friends and family weren't cutting each other off over opinions, to when people weren't living in tents on the sides of the road. Take us back.
They want to take Canada backwards. Take Canada backwards.
Canada's inflation rate is back up once again.
Groceries and gas prices all up compared to a year ago.
With rent climbing 7.7%, the Bank of Canada raised its key interest rate last year to a 2-decade high of 5%.
Canadians with variable mortgages or those looking to borrow will have significantly higher payments.
If you look at GDP, it basically hasn't grown in the last 9 months.
As a single mom of 2 young kids, it's kind of horrible, like horrific.
They want to take Canada backwards. Backwards.
If it wasn't so sad, it would be continually funny. I can't believe he would have the gall to claim something like that. He's trying to form a narrative. He constantly stands up in the House of Commons and tells everyone what Canadians want and how Canadians think. But literally nobody wants or thinks what Trudeau thinks they do. And now he's blaming conspiracy theorists. He's blaming the people for the fact that mainstream media isn't trusted anymore. About 4 out of 10 Canadians trust media nowadays, which to me is actually pretty high. That's surprisingly high.
There is out there a deliberate undermining of mainstream media. There are the conspiracy theorists, there are the social media drivers who are trying to do everything they can to keep people in their little filter bubbles, to prevent people from actually agreeing on a common set of facts, the way, you know, the CBC and CTV, when they were our only sources of news, you know, used to and global used to project across the country at least a common understanding of things.
Oh, it's our fault that, you know, big corporate-controlled media conglomerates can't be trusted. Basically mouthpieces for the federal government. Yeah, it's our fault. Yeah, right. Holy shit. And let's not forget how the federal government treats the only remaining independent media outlets left in this country.
Journalists must have the ability to report facts freely and to defend, expose, and advance the truth without fear of retaliation, reprisal, violence, or imprisonment. Today, journalism is difficult and dangerous work.
Ms. Freeland, how come the IRGC is not a terrorist group? Why is your government supporting Islamo-nationalism? What? What are you doing? You're under arrest for assault. Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault.
Remember that scammerific ArriveCan app that the government tried to force everyone to use when you landed in Canada or when you came home from vacation or whatever it was? They wanted everyone to use this app. And, you know, there were a lot of people that refused to use it. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. But the damn thing was only supposed to cost $80,000. And apparently it's over $60 million now.
The Prime Minister's Arrive scam is now flailing out of control. Today, revelations from a Joël Denis Bellevance that one ArriveScan company received $250 million in contracts. Let's get this straight. It's a company with 4 employees, headquartered in the basement of a tiny cottage. They got IT contracts even though they admit they do no IT work. $250 million. WTF.
Here, here. I'm going to ask the honourable opposition leader, please, to withdraw that comment and to use parliamentary language, please.
Where's the funds?
You like to pretend you're progressive, but all you're doing is progressing us into oblivion, progressing us into deficits and debt and poverty and homelessness. It's crazy across Canada now, and progressing us towards a totalitarian, you know, socialist, authoritarian government. Yeah, I'm sorry, if that's being progressive, I want nothing to do with that. And I do not want to be associated with the word, you know, progressive, if that's what it means. Hell no.
This is real life.
You're not heading for a better year. 7 out of 10 Canadians want you to step down. There was a recent poll saying that Chrystia Freeland and Mark Carney were both more popular choices than you to lead the Liberal Party. People are being very clear that they don't like you.